Hey there, Andrew here. In this tutorial, we are going to look at managing all of your events for the Hosanna City Church website. And events show in a lot of different places. So first thing, we're going to run through those, and then we're going to look at managing and adding new events and all that goes along with it. So the first place they show is on the home page, and these only show if they're categorized as like a featured event. So this lets you, instead of showing every event on the home page and giving them all the same umph, you can choose, hey, we want to feature these 3 events and have them all right here on the home page. And if you click on View More, this will take someone to the actual events page. And again, we have the featured events up top, and then below that will be all the other events that are coming up. A few more places where these are. Let's go to Connect. First would be Kids. If there are kid-specific events, events that are categorized with the Department of Kids, they'll show up here at the bottom of the Kids page. For example, right now we don't have any. It looks like we don't have any events scheduled just for kids. You can visit our events page to see what's coming up for everyone. Same for students. Events that are specific to the students department. And we have those in 2 more places. One is in the growth track. If you click on growth track, we have the very next growth track event coming up. We'll show right here. And then the other is actually right here on the Connect page. We have a place where we highlight growth track and getting involved with the life of Hosanna City Church. And only the events categorized as growth track will display here. So now let's jump over to the back end, and we will add a new event. So when you log in, again, this is your dashboard. And we want to add events. So let's go to events, and we're going to see all the events we have currently. You probably realize we only have 1 event showing right here, and that's because if you look at the start date, these others have passed. It is October 22nd right now, and so our next date is September 16th, and these are gone because the start date has already passed. So what we're going to do, before I go further, rewind. If we go to screen options, oh man, if you log in and this is your first time logging in, it probably looks like a hot mess. And so click on screen options, and you can get rid of so much stuff that just comes default in this view here. And I get rid of the author, tags, departments, comments, and end date just to clean up what I see here. So if that's you and your first time logging in, go ahead and do that, and you'll be happy that once you get rid of those things, it actually looks and makes sense here. What we're going to do is click Add New, and we're going to call this event Tutorial Test Event. And here's where we write stuff about our cool event. I'm going to paste that a few times. Next, we go through the event calendar, and so we select a start date. Let's make this one September 23rd from 11 to 1. And we're going to say that it ends on the same day. Next, we need a location. I have both of the locations so far just added in here. If you wanted to add a new location, you would just type, new location. It would create a new location, and then you could just give the address there, and you save it, and now it's in as a new location. We don't really worry about the organizer. We don't need to worry about that. The event website, and so when you see event website, think registration. And so if you guys have something that needs to link out to like a planning center form, or if there's some type of external registration that you guys need for this, or if it's on-site registration, like if it's on your website, maybe you have a form that you want to direct people towards from this event post, you would just put it here. I'm just going to put this asterisk, or no, hashtag, #, whatever, so you see it. And then the currency symbol, and we're going to say $20 for this event. Down here, the SEO settings, I always like to give a snippet of the event. For SEO purposes, it lets me control what Google sees instead of Google just pulling the first words on the page. So let's paste that. That's too long. Boom. Social. So if you're going to share this event on social media, I always like to add a social image right here. And you can select that image, and this will be the image that gets seen when someone shares this link on Facebook, Twitter, etc. So now we went down this first big column. Let's go through this little one right here. We aren't really using tags for events, so I just close that box. Event categories. Right now, I just have a few in here. Let's do Dream Team and Growth Track. Campus, we're going to say all locations. Departments, let's say kids, students, and that should be fine. I just want to get a picture there so we can see it. And then event extras. This will dictate some of the things that show or don't show on the actual event listing. And so what we're going to do is we're going to click on a few of these and go back and forth and see them. Obviously, the first is featured event. And so that would put it on the home page. It would put it up top on the events page and make sure that it's right out there for everybody to see. We're going to leave that checked. Next is happens after each service. So instead of creating two separate events, you can just create one, give it a start time of like 9. And when you put happens after each service, it says, it essentially says, this will happen at the end of every service. Instead of showing a start time, you can hide all times, and then you can show the end date and show the end time. For example, if you have a multi-day event or a camp or something like that, you can show the end date and show the end time. Instead of just show, I have it set by default to just show the first, the start date and the start time. And then the featured image. Let's, where are those kids doing the peace sign? There it is. So I'm going to set that as the featured image. And we're going to scroll up here, click publish. And if we refresh some of these things, it should show up. There's a tutorial test event. And if I go to kids and scroll down, the tutorial test event is here. Same for if I went to students. And if I go to the home page now, it is a featured event and it's there. So next, on the actual event page, you can see we have the name of the event, the ability to share the event over here. We have the departments that it belongs to, kids and students. Then we have some of the information right here. It's Monday, it's at 11. The location, this is happening at each Hosanna City Church location. Find your location. And then it has view more events down here. Now let's go back and change one of these. Let's say it happens after each service. We're going to update. And let's refresh. And you can see right now where it's instead of the time, it says after service. This event occurs after each service across every location. Now if we go back to hide all times and update, we can refresh, and it gets rid of the time happening at each location, each Hosanna City Church location. And now if we show the end date and show end time, it shows the dates, both the start and end date, and the times of the event. And that is how you manage all of your guys' events, and some little knickknacks to control what people see on the front end, especially important for events like Growth Track and such that happen after a service.